Welcome to this week's Bacon and Bezels. Now I have to start off the show with some sad news, and that is that there is no bacon today. Very sad. I went to the fridge this morning with a glimmer of hope in my eyes. I had my coffee, waiting for me. Opened the fridge and there's no bacon. So it's a tough day here at Bacon and Bezels, but we still have watches. And today we're going to do our first full-length review of one of the watches in my collection. So let's go into the case and see what we can find. All right, so here is the case. These are all my watches, and each week we're going to pick one and do a little review. So this week, what should we look at? This week I think we should look at this beautiful Longines. So this week's watch is the Longines Spirit. And it's probably one of the nicer watches in my collection. And it comes in this beautiful wooden box. Let's open it up here. And there it is. Very nice presentation to this one. We'll take it out and put it on wrist here. I would say this is probably one of my favorite watches. It's a daily wear. I wear it a lot. And it has this butterfly clasp here on the back. It fits really well. It has a case back. I don't know if I can show it here. It has the wings and the hourglass on the back etched in, and that is the Longines logo, as you can see on the top there. And it is actually an hourglass with wings to show time is always going, and it's actually the longest copyrighted logo ever. That's still in production. And Longines has been in business since 1832, which is pretty amazing. Almost 200 years this brand has been around, making watches, stopwatches, clocks, everything for 200 years. And this watch, upside down. This watch just has a beautiful white face. I love the numbers on it. And I'll show you the lume here in a second. But it has cathedral hands there. And I love the bracelet. You could just feel the weight of it. Really nice construction. Put it on wrist here. I got the perfect fit, which sometimes with these butterfly clasps, you can struggle to get the right fit, but this just fits me perfect on my wrist. Let's go ahead and look at the lume. You can see the lume on this watch is just beautiful. Look at that. With those cathedral hands and those beautiful numerals. I love the 6 and the 9 on this watch. I would say that's probably my favorite thing on this watch and this lume. So at nighttime, I'm just in a dark room. You can see, look at that. It's just so bright. You have every number. I love how they executed the 3. They have a date, but they also have a 3. Most watches take away that 3 and put the date there, but then at night, and you just don't get that beautiful lume of all of the numbers. Just a beautiful lume execution. So a little more history about the brand of Longines, and that is that it is Swiss for long meadow, and it came to be because the brand was looking for a place to put their warehouse. And it just so happened they found this huge meadow in Switzerland. It's beautiful. I've seen pictures of it, and they decided to name their watch brand after that, which is Les Longines, which is French, and that's what they named the brand. And it's been around for 200 years, as I said, and a lot of famous people have worn their watches over the years. Charles Lindbergh, the famous aviator, actually wore a lot of their watches for his expeditions and his flights. And then Albert Einstein was actually one of their collaborators, and he wore a tiny little square Longines watch, which is really cool. I believe it was 18 karat gold. And so they just have a rich history. Today they're mostly associated with equestrian sports. They do a lot of advertising for the Kentucky Derby and a lot of horse races, and they also do a lot of work with aviation as well. But it's just a really cool brand. And the way I came to this watch is 2 or 3 years ago, I can't remember, but I had a vintage Omega watch, It was an Omega Seamaster from 1967, and I loved that watch, but it was very tiny. It was a 32 millimeter, which in contrast, this watch here is a 40.5. It is a big watch, and it was just too tiny. And one day I went into the watch store that I go to. I have a vintage watch store that I go to in town, and I saw this watch in that wooden case, in the glass case that he had, and I just fell in love, and I said, I have to have it. I traded that Omega, and I paid some cash, and I got this watch, and I haven't regretted it since. I miss that Omega, but this watch is just beautiful. The opportunity to have a Longines, because they are expensive watches, and I kind of traded my way up. I traded from one smaller brand watch up to that Omega and then to this one. And that's what I have to do because I don't make a ton of money. I'm a humble public servant. But that's the really cool thing about watches. If you love this and if you have a passion for it, you might not be able to afford the ultra luxury watches. I know, I love Rolex and I love Patek Philippe and Audemars Piguet, but I'll never be able to afford one of those watches, but I can admire them. I can see the beauty in them. But there are some pieces that are attainable, and this Longines is a beautiful watch brand, and they can be very expensive, but I kind of just, elevated my way up to that point because I love watches and I love the brand, and it's just really given me an appreciation for it even more that I have this watch. And Longines, when you look at the history and you look at what they're still doing, it's pretty amazing. And this watch here, I just wanted to have this one be the first watch that I review because it is my daily wear and it's just something that's very special to me. And next week, I'm sure we'll have some bacon, so just stay tuned for that. And we'll look at another watch in the collection. What's it going to be? I don't know. There's a lot of watches in that case, so please stay tuned to see what's next. Thank you.